You are welcome to today's episode of Chronicles of a Nigerian Woman. I'm your host, Fagbeja, and today I'll be reading Michelle's story. I got married quite late, at the age of 36. There was no issue as far as I could tell. I am good looking and I have an easygoing personality, if I can say so myself. This is also well attested to by people around me. I guess some things just happen like that. Anyway, I was not too bothered about it. I had a great career in an oil servicing firm and I didn't let the issue of marriage, or rather no marriage, hold me back. I always told myself that it would happen at the right time, in God's time, and I held firmly to that. My husband, Michelle, yes, we bear the same name, was introduced to me by a mutual friend. I was 35 at the time and he was a year older. He dealt in the importation and sales of cars. He was a very calm, easygoing guy. In fact, when I first met him, I wondered why he wasn't married if he really was such a good person. But I guessed someone would ask the same of me also, so I didn't dwell too much on that. When we met, it was more for us to evaluate one another and agree on whether a marriage would work, because we were each at the point where that was the next thing on our agenda. Neither of us wanted to waste any time. The one thing I immediately noticed was the fact that he was willing to accede to my decisions right from the beginning. On our first meeting or date, he asked me to choose where we would meet up, and this became a pattern. As we continued, he wanted me to choose where we would live, and it struck me the wrong way. I did point it out, but it wasn't a big deal to him, and I didn't want to flog it because, indeed, it didn't seem like a major issue. It was almost like complaining that he was being too nice, and so I just let it slide. Other than that, he was okay, nice, caring, and understanding. He clearly was not as driven as I was, and he also did not make anything close to the income I made, but that was not an issue for me at all. The important factor was that he had a source of income, even if it was not steady because of the nature of his business. A number of little coincidences made it seem like we were destined to be together. First, we bore the same name, of course. Secondly, we both had Cameroonian grandmothers, his on his father's side and mine on my mother's side. Third, we belonged to the same church denomination. Also, our birthdays were in the same month, just 2 days apart. I have always believed that nothing happens by accident. So all these seemingly minute details added to my general assessment of him made me very accepting of the relationship. We courted for about a year, mainly because of our church rules that counseling had to cover a 6-month period before the marriage date could be set. When we got married, our wedding was quite loud because my family is quite social and I'm also pretty extroverted myself. His family is a lot more quiet than mine, so they just tagged along with us. We did not want to wait before having children because age was not on our side and we wanted 3. We had them in the first 5 years of our marriage, thankfully. We have been married for 13 years now, and I have footed most of the bills in our home in that period. I am not complaining about this at all because I have more than enough finances to do so. In fact, I have changed jobs twice since we got married because I am always looking out for new and better opportunities, and with God's help, I keep rising in my career. The issue for me is with my husband's attitude. Like I said before, he's a nice person and he's appreciative too, but he is much too laid back in my opinion. His car importation and sales business is still at the hustling level after all these years. I have tried to suggest ways for him to grow it, but he seems content as things are, living from hand to mouth. He has no savings or investments and is barely able to contribute anything to the upkeep of the children or the home. Even the allowance we send to his mother on a monthly basis comes from me, once in a while, and I really mean a while. When he closes a deal, he buys treats for the family, but that is about all he does. Whatever he gets, he spends on his personal expenses, and it is barely enough. I suggested he gets a job if the business is not working out, but he says he is not cut out for paid employment. I have thought at a point of giving him a monthly stipend too, but I decided against it after I saw that he wasn't willing to push himself. Instead, I buy him gifts of nice clothes and shoes and accessories to make sure he at least looks good. Worse than all I have already pointed out is that he is barely involved in affairs at home. I also bear all the mental burden. He will help if I ask him to, but he won't take the initiative to do anything. When I hear of the issues some people have in their marriages, I feel like I may be overthinking things because he is not a bad person. But I often feel like I am in a marriage by myself, and I am really getting tired. Maybe there is a perspective to this situation that I am not seeing. I will be grateful to hear it. What do you think of the situation between Michelle and her husband? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to hit that subscribe button and to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos when I post.